Okay, so now we're going to create a new student account to show inputting data into the database. So we're going to enter in my name, so Jonathan. We're going to select the teacher of admin and the class of admin class. These are the default values. And you see over here at the moment in the database that the users table has nothing but the example data in. If I click create account, click OK, and then click refresh on the database, you'll now notice that a new user account record has been inserted. I've got an ID of 13, I've got my username here, and then I've got my alias name of Jonathan, which I entered in, and the class ID of 1, which if you then go back over to the classes table, you notice class ID 1 is the admin class, which is what I selected in that drop down menu, so the data has been inserted into the database correctly. Okay, so now we're going to insert an exam result into the database. So if we head over to the exam results table, you'll notice at the moment that there's only one record in that table. That is the default starting data or the example data. So now if we take an exam, it doesn't matter which one we'll do an easy translation. We'll just quickly complete this exam like so. You notice we have failed that exam with a score of 0, a total attempts of 18, and a time elapsed of 4 seconds. If we click save and exit, we now head over to the exam results table, click refresh all. You'll notice a new record has been created with an ID of 3, a student ID of 13, which as we saw earlier was my student ID, an exam ID of 3, which if we go to the exam table, the exam ID of 3 is a translation easy exam, which is what we just took, so that is correct. A score of 0, an attempts of 18, and a time elapsed of 4 seconds, as we just saw me get. So now we're going to demonstrate retrieving data. So if we go over to the users table, as we saw earlier, I created a user account and the username was JONAT. If we go to my C drive, you'll notice that my current Windows login username is JONAT. So now when I click account login, it will try and search in the database for a username matching my current Windows login, which is JONAT. It finds it and it says login successful. And we can check this by going to file, settings, details. And as you see, my username here is JONAT, which is what it searched for and selected in the database to log me in. And this is done because every student has their own computer login, so that can also act as their own individual login to the program, and this means that I don't need to store any password, which removes the need for security. Okay, so another example of retrieving data. This time we're going to retrieve classes. So if we go to account and then the student manager, you'll notice that in the class editor window here, it has retrieved all of the classes from the class table here. And if we click view all classes, you notice that it also retrieves the admin class, which is owned by a different teacher from myself. So this shows that it's both retrieving the class names and the teacher IDs with those class names, because it's able to sort them into individual classes. Okay, so now I'm going to demonstrate updating data. For example, we're going to do year 8 set 1. As you see in the database currently, the class name is year 8 set 1 and the ID value is 9. If we go over into the class editor, select year 8 set 1, click rename class, type in year 10 set 5, click rename class. Now if you go back over to the database, click refresh all, you notice that the ID value of 9 is still there, but the class name has now updated to year 10 set 5 as we did so, which demonstrates updating. So once again we're going to demonstrate updating. This time we're going to transfer a class. So as you can see, my current user ID is 7, which means that I own all of these records here. So if I now transfer them, if we go to student manager, click year 10 set 5, which has an ID of 9, you notice that the teacher ID is currently 7. But if I click transfer ownership of class and now change it to admin, click confirm and accept and now refresh, you'll now notice that the record of 9 now has a teacher ID of 1, showing that as transferred ownership of teachers. Okay, so now we're going to demonstrate deleting data. So we're going to delete an account, so we go to file, settings, details. You notice this is my current account. We've got the username of JONAT, we've got the ID of 13, and if we go into the users table in the database, we see my record is currently here. Now if I click the delete account button, confirm I wish to delete my account, restart the program, and now if you go and update the database, you'll notice that that record has now been deleted from the database and it no longer exists. Okay, so now we're going to demonstrate deleting an exam result. So if we head over to where this exam result is, you'll notice that the IDs match up. We've got 11 here and 11 there. So in the exam results table, we've kind of got this record. If we click delete result, click yes, and then head back over to the database and click refresh, you'll now notice that this record is no longer in the database and it has been deleted, showing that deletion was successful.